And you're watching Roots TV Nigeria. In this exclusive interview, we are speaking with the chairman and CEO of the Peace Mass Transit Group in the person of Dr. Sam Maduka Onyishi. We'll be talking to him about the transport industry and what they need from the incoming administration, as well as the new reports as of today, that today being a public holiday, the transport companies are going to be giving out some sort of incentive to encourage travelers to move to their various stations, destinations, so they are able to vote. My name is Gloria Oje Modi. Welcome, sir.
Thank you.
Okay, first things first. Today is a public holiday, and there are reports that transport companies, a lot of transport services, even airlines, are giving out incentives to encourage people to travel to their various locations to vote. Is Peace Mass Transit doing this, and what is the size of that incentive?
Sure. We are giving 30% discount to encourage people to travel to their various places to participate in the presidential election tomorrow.
So wherever you're going?
Wherever you're going.
So are there preconditions? We have heard some people say you first of all have to show your PVC.
Just have to show your PVC. That's the only thing.
So show your PVC?
And you get 30% discount.
So you've basically heard it for all those people who want to travel to their various destinations across Nigeria, yes?
Yeah, wherever.
Wherever in Nigeria. Now, Peace Mass Transit has over 3,000 buses on its fleet, thereabout.
Sure.
And you're probably one of the biggest road transport companies in Nigeria.
By God's grace.
Okay, so some questions that I'm asking here are based on some, assumptions and some reports here and there that even with your huge fleet, that some of your cars or buses are prone to accidents, as been reported. Now, is that true? Secondly, what are you doing to encourage your drivers to, be more careful? And what are you doing to increase consumer and customer confidence in the Peace Mass Transit brand?
Thank you. Peace Mass Transit is one of the safest transport companies in Nigeria on road. Why? Because when you are talking about accidents involving a particular company or fleet, you must talk about the numbers. You must talk about the fleet size. When you have about 3,000 vehicles on the highway, and then every day you have about 2,000 using the road, that means 2,000 times 15 passengers is about 30,000 passengers. So on every good day, we are moving a minimum of 30,000 passengers.
Daily?
Yeah. Then when you have 2,000 vehicles on the highway or 3,000, you have 3,000 exposures. Then another company that has 100 or 200 or 1,000 has 1,000 exposures, which means that company that has 1,000, if it's involved in crash, maybe 10 times, that is about 1%. For the company that has 3,000, if you're involved in crash about 15 times, that is 5%, not 10%, which means that company that had 15 crashes is safer than the other that had 10 crashes.
I see.
Because of the ratio. So 15 of 3,000 is 5%, while 10 of 1,000 is 10%.
So you're saying the reason that a lot of your accidents are often reported is because you have more cars or more vehicles on the road.
If you don't have a vehicle on the way, your vehicle cannot crash. If you have one, the possibility is only one crash. If you have 10, the possibility is only 10 crashes. If you have 100 possibilities.
I see. When these
so we are safer by ratio.
All right. But in situations...
Much more safer.
Okay, sir.
Yeah.
In situations where these crashes happen, what do you do? Do you have a compensation plan? Do you take the victims of the crash to the hospitals? What is your compensation plan? What's your insurance plan?
It's a long time. We are on a very long haul. We are not in the business for just one day. We are in business not just to make money, to make good name, to give service to our country and to our God. It's an opportunity, it's a ministry. So when there is a crash, we have what we call the patrol team that are on the highways. They are there for quick intervention. And by the grace, when there's a crash, most of the time, our vehicle is also one of the first 2 vehicles to arrive on the scene. So each time we are always there to and make sure that we move people to the nearest hospital for treatments, for follow-up, and so on. And then we have made provisions for this.
So do you pay for the hospital treatment?
All the time. Each time you are traveling in a vehicle, we are your closest relation. We are your father, we are your mother, until you drop, until you get you to where you're going. So if anything happens to you, we'll begin to look after you until maybe your relations arrive.
What about the terrible incident of death? What do you do?
Yeah, death is not something anybody can say will not happen from time to time, but nobody's praying for that. When there is death, of course, we handle whatever is involved until the families come. If you require treatment, we do that. And in terms of compensation, we have a welfare scheme that we run as a company, and we have done this for over 20 years. So we are not new to this, and we don't need anybody to advise us to that, because that is why people still come to us.
I see.
Yeah, that's why people still come to us.
Let's change the conversation just a little bit. We're in an election season, and whether you believe it or not, a lot of people see you in the Southeast as a heavyweight and as a voice in terms of the political scene, and basically to woo and move people. Now, first of all, assess for us, you operate in the Southeast. What is the voter behavior like? We already know in the past years there's voter apathy. In 2015 we recorded the least number of people who turned out to vote. This year, 2019, tomorrow elections will come. What would you say is the behavior or the mindset of the Igbo voter or the Southeast region towards voting? Will they come out to vote? Will they vote en masse this time? Or they are just not connecting with, you know, the candidates out there?
Well, the Igbo people that I know are industrious set of people. And most of us, the young ones, are not within the Southeast zone running our businesses. So each time there's an election like this one, most people have to travel back home to vote for those that are registered at home. But most of the time, most of them will register outside Igbo land. So the population of the registered Igbo voters is not actually a true reflection of the Igbo votes, because most of our people are in Kano, they're in Lagos, they're in Port Harcourt, they're everywhere. And there's no other tribe in Nigeria that has that kind of spread like the Igbos have. So that has really dealt a blow on the number of registered voters in the Southeast. As of today, I think we have between 8 to 10 million registered voters in the whole of Southeast. But most of our young men are in Lagos, they're in Kano, they're everywhere in Nigeria. But wherever they are, they can still vote, you know, for whoever they want to vote for, whoever the candidate is. The Igbos are interested in the election because they are business people, and they're interested in the economy, how the economy is run.
That's pretty interesting.
So nobody should be interested in the economy more than the Igbos, because they are mostly traders. Our men are out there all over Nigeria, running one industry or the other. So they are exposed, and they need government intervention in their various businesses for them to make ends meet.
It's pretty interesting that you brought this idea. I'm glad we're moving straight to the economy, because I saw a write-up by a certain young man on social media who said the person who will be attractive most to the Igbo people is a person who brings an economic plan that will help their businesses. You are a businessman. You've been in business for more than 30 years. What would you say are the major interventions in the incoming administration, whoever it is that turns out to become the president of Nigeria May 29th? I mean, what is that thing the Igbo man is looking for in terms of intervention in business, in the business sector, that will grow him, whether he's in the Southeast or he's in Kano or Lagos? What's he looking for?
The number one thing that every Igbo man that is in business, or most, will require is equal access to foreign exchange. So equal access to Forex. And then every business person should be accessing Forex at the same rate. Not some people going to the market, black market, to buy Forex at 360, 365 as the case may be, and then other people are picking it at 300, 310, 315, only to end up running one business, coming to compete in one market. By the time somebody is buying at 310 and you are buying at 360, the person has 10% discount. What it means is that whatever goods he brings into the country or service that he brings, he can reduce 10% from your overhead costs, and then you are out of business. So that is monopoly. That is killing the beginners. So for us to have the Igbos enjoy whoever is going to be the next president, the next government, if it is the person who is there, if he's continuing, if another person is coming, whoever, what we want is equal access to Forex, and at the same price, the same rates. one uniform rate for everybody.
And that's a major thing. Is there anything
else? We are
else?
playing in the same economy, so we should have equal access at the same rate.
Beyond that, is there anything else that would move you?
So much more. Because we are spread across the country, because we are everywhere, the Igbos are not really happy because there is so much double taxation all over Nigeria. You come to certain part of the country, you pay certain form of taxes that nobody knows about. People create taxes here and there, you know, both at the state level, both at the local government level. And then the federal government is also interested in taxes. So these things should be properly done, harnessed, or done in such a way that everybody is aware of what you are paying for what service and then to whom. You know, not paying a particular tax to the local governments and then the state government comes to collect the same kind of tax from you.
Interesting. With the way you are sounding,
so multiple taxation is a key problem.
Is a key problem.
Major problem.
Major problem. I mean, I've heard that being echoed by business people from all across Nigeria, interestingly. When listening to you, I am hearing a general echoed sense. You know, Igbos often feel very marginalized. And I'm not just talking about this administration, even way before democratic dispensation.
No. The Igbos, as far as I'm concerned, the Igbos are not marginalized.
Interesting.
Yeah, because people have to appreciate what God has given to them. People have different gifts. Certain part of the country have the gift of being in government. Certain part of the country have the gift of owning major companies. And certain part of the country have the opportunity of becoming business people.
Can you be more specific? Yeah. Certain parts of the country are better off in government. Could you give us examples in this?
Okay, for instance, between 1960 and now, the Northerners have taken a fair share of government. The Southwesterners are more into organized industry. They own most of the companies in terms of like equity and the rest of them. But the Igbos are the traders out there. You go to Kano, you look at 100 houses, you see Igbos on 10, 20. But you come to Enugu, you look at 100 houses, you don't see 2 or 3 houses who own a house there. And then you say you are marginalized? How are you marginalized when you own houses in Lagos, you own houses in Kano? The Igbos are not marginalized at all. The point is that we need access to government up to the point of helping our business, having a level playing ground for everybody. That is the only thing we're asking for. And the Igbos will get whatever they want from commerce. That is a gift to us from God, and we appreciate it.
Elections are in the next few hours. Presidential election is very important, and of course the National Assembly, the Senate is also, senators are also going to be voted in the next few hours. These are very strategic to some of the things that you have talked about that Igbos need. Now, as I already said earlier, there has been recorded apathy to voting by Igbos. So why should Igbos vote this time? Because if these things you're saying are truly what Igbos need and they need access to government, then they need to vote. But why do they have to vote? What is that thing that will encourage the Igbo man tomorrow to take his PVC and vote?
The Igbo man should vote because we are interested in choosing somebody that we love, that we believe in, to run this government. Therefore, when you don't vote, you don't have a voice. Your voice is your vote. You cannot complain when you don't vote. You only have the moral justification to talk when you vote, you know. And then apart from that, we have to represent our own people. Our vote is our strength. So the Igbos have strength in Nigeria. So wherever we are, both in Lagos, in the north, wherever in Nigeria, you just stay there and vote. Wherever you are, just vote. You must not be in the Igbo land to vote for your president. You can vote from anywhere. But if you register in the Southeast, it is good you go home to vote. That is why we're giving discounts, so that people can travel home to vote. Because most of the travelers are from the southeastern Nigeria.
I see.
Most of those in commerce are those traveling. And that is why you see that there is more movements in the southeast than other parts of Nigeria.
We want to say a big thank you to you, Dr. Maduka Onyishi, for taking our time to talk to Roots TV Nigeria. A lot has been said on this very important exclusive. What are your thoughts on some of the things that he has said? First of all, maybe contrary to what a lot of Igbo people believe, Dr. Maduka Onyishi says Igbos are not marginalized, according to him. And he says Igbos need equal access to Forex at the right rate, at the same rate. Please give us your comments on all that you have heard on today's exclusive on the comment section of our video. And please don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube page. My name is Gloria Oje Emode, and you are watching Roots TV Nigeria.